Mark Hensley, the Associate State Director for AARP, North Carolina Triad Region, and Scott Braddock from Scott Braddock Financial are both here with us answering your stimulus-related questions. You can text us your question at that number there at the bottom of the screen, 379-5775. All right, Scott, let's start with this one. This person is asking, does receiving a stimulus check affect your tax return?
Sure, I hear that question quite often, and the answer is no. We're not required to pay taxes on the stimulus check. It really is essentially a gift. The whole idea is that we're going to receive that stimulus check, and then the anticipation is that expectation, excuse me, is that we're going to go and spend that money to help stimulate the economy. So we're not going to be filing that on our tax returns, paying taxes on that money this year or next year.
All right, and to follow up with that, someone is asking, are there limitations on what you can use your stimulus money for?
There really isn't any restrictions. This is your money. It's for you to use for your benefit and for your family, to take care of yourself and to help stimulate the economy. So really, there hasn't been any restrictions on how you use your stimulus payment.
Mm-hmm. Mark, this person is saying, I have a friend who does not have a checking account and has not received their check in the mail. What should they do?
Well, they first of all need to go to irs.gov and click Get My Payment to check the status. It could be that the check is being deployed based on their income level, but the best place to find out what the status is at the IRS website. Keep in mind, you can call the 1-800 number. There's quite a bit of a delay and a wait. There's backup. So this is the best place to check your status with the IRS.
Yes, because even if they don't have a bank account, that doesn't mean that a check or a debit card won't be mailed to them at their address, and then they will be able to use it that way. All right, Scott, this text question is, will I still receive a stimulus check if I owe back taxes?
Well, the good news is that if you do owe back taxes, you're still going to receive a stimulus check. So that didn't come into the equation of whether or not individuals that owe back taxes would receive a stimulus check. They will, in fact. Just to share, the only way that your check may be taken and redirected would be if you owe back child support. So if you are expecting to receive a stimulus check based on income requirements and never received it, that is one possibility if you also know that you owe back child support, because that payment could have quite possibly been redirected to solving that debt.
I'm glad you just answered that, because I just got a text question as you were answering the first question. Will I get stimulus money if I'm behind on child support? Behind is one thing, but if you owe back child support, they will take it from that.
Right, great clarification. That's exactly right. So this is owed back child support. There is a difference between owing child support and being in arrears on child support.
Mm-hmm. So this next question, Mark, is about stimulus payments and direct deposit. Is it true that payments are not being made via direct deposit anymore?
So we did a little bit of research on this, and if you're receiving some type of government benefit through direct deposit, you can assume that you may still get your stimulus this same method, because that is the way they know how to make contact with you. But on May the 13th, that was the deadline if you were to enter your routing and checking account number to get your stimulus payment, and they suspended those payments to people who do not receive benefits at that midpoint in May, around the 15th of May. So it really depends on, are you a recipient of Social Security disability, or are you a taxpayer? If you're a taxpayer, you will not get a direct deposit. They have suspended that.
And this next question is one that I don't know that we can answer or not. I've never actually had this question before or seen it brought up. Will the people who are active duty military receive a stimulus check? Either one of you heard anything about that?
I have not seen anything on their website in regards to that. Mark?
So I have seen no designation that active duty military are treated any differently than any other U.S. citizen. The key point is, being a U.S. citizen, whether or not you work or not, or where you work, has no impact on this. It's really just based on some age requirements the type of income you have, and your income limits. So one would assume an active duty military under $75,000 or less is going to receive the stimulus payment just like all other Americans.
And we can absolutely take a look at that and see if we can find out other information. Again, we are all going on what the IRS has put out, and they very often change things as this goes along. We've seen that happen, haven't we, Mark?
We have. Scott and I both have.
I just wanted to let you know that there are several people who are texting in. Thank you to both of you for answering their questions. So we do appreciate your time. This question, Mark, my stimulus payment was sent to the wrong bank in April. What should I do?
Oh, contact your bank. First of all, they are FDI insured. And it is incumbent upon the banks to work out these direct deposits with the IRS because that was a direct payment. So get in touch with their bank and begin the process of trying to negotiate this out.
And that can take some time back and forth when they send it back to the IRS, especially if they're going to give it back to the bank or they're going to mail out a check. You could be looking at 6 to 8 weeks between all of that happening. So we just want to let you know to be aware of that. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to be talking about a second round of stimulus because we're getting more text questions about that.